What's up, Internet Land? Zachimus Prime, aka Zachimus Prime, here with the Transformers video review. And I want to come clear with you guys. Transformers Cybertron is one of my very favorite Transformers shows because of all of the Transformers, and this might be wild for you guys, but of all of the Transformer shows that have come out, that was the very first one that I had actually watched intentionally from from beginning to end. I watched every single episode. Actually watched them as they were coming out in Japanese, which is why I tend to refer to a lot of the Cybertron stuff by their, Japanese nomenclature, like, Force Chips and Galaxy Convoy and stuff like that. But the designs I really liked. I had just gotten my first real job back in 2005, and I had discretionary income for one of the first times in my life, and I bought basically the entire toy line, and like I was we're past a minute, so I'll tell you I was balls deep into that show. I just absolutely. So my favorite Optimus Prime design is the Cybertron Optimus Prime. My favorite Starscream design is the Cybertron Starscream. Um, my favorite. I don't know if I can really say that Megatron is my favorite design, but he was he was a wonderful, mustache twirling caricature of a villain. Um, and I watched it again recently, and it is campy, so campy. But I still really enjoyed it. So what I want to talk to you about is one of, I think this is my favorite figure so far of this year. Um, this is the Cybertron Optimus, or sorry, Cybertron Starscream, and the Transformers Legacy Cybertron Universe Starscream. And dang, this guy is nearly perfect. There's actually only one thing that I would change on this guy, and it would be some red paint apps right here. That's it. That's the only thing he needs. Like, I could argue that he could go for a red paint app here, but I guess it would be back here. I don't know. But that's just nitpicking. This right here was really necessary. I may go in later. I may see about adding in my own. I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. But this figure is so flipping good. I remember when they announced it, and they're like, oh yeah, and we're going to do a Cybertron Starscream. And I was like, huh. And then they showed it, and I was like, what? They came out with that Cybertron Optimus Prime. That was basically the retool of Ultra Magnus. And I think that scene sucked. But this figure is phenomenal. Just phenomenal. But yeah, let's talk about his accessories. He comes with a gun. This is accurate to his gun that he had, the toy that he had. Well, I'm trying to think. The one that I had was the Japanese version, which had electronics, by the way. And I'm trying to think if it had the gun. Well, I guess they all did. But anyhow, he's got a gun. It's molded in clear plastic. It will sit here. The missile doesn't fire, which is fine by me. I don't have a problem with that. And it looks good. He also comes with a little cyber key, a little force chip. It's completely accurate in its sculpt. Like, this is a perfect scaled down representation of the cyber key from Transformers Cybertron. Just with no paint apps on it. He could have used a little bit of silver on here and some black for the and it fits into the slot. Now, there's no mechanisms in here, so it doesn't do anything. If you don't want to stick it on the back, which if you don't, you're crazy. But if you really don't want to do that, you can cram it onto the back of his gun. But I think that's silly. I just keep it there. Thank you very much. But yeah, this figure looks so freaking good. I have the Make Toys Galaxy Screamer, and that's also one of my very favorite figures that I own, period. And that was a birthday present actually from a good friend of mine some years ago. And like this is basically that figure that they took it and dumbed it down a bit, which is, all right. I'm not going to complain that they dumbed it down a bit. It's got to make it through production. But it's so good. I wouldn't even complain that these guns don't move, even though I kind of wish that they did. But like, I'm not complaining that they don't. Literally the only complaint that I have about this figure is it could use a red paint apps on the shins. That's it. This figure's perfection itself. But anyhow, let's take his accessory out, talk about his articulation. Oh, whoa. So you put in this thing, and then you can flip out these arm blades. He's got the arm blades. They look so freaking good. And he's got like butterfly joints to like take advantage of that. I think it's cool. Just really cool. I dig it so much. It's so fantastic. These are removable. You can take them and you can attach them like onto his forearms or onto his legs or anywhere else that you think that they need to go. But you're crazy if you put them anywhere except for his shoulders, because that's where they belong. But anyhow, let's talk about his articulation. So his head is on the ball joint. Look at that face sculpt. Look at how good that face sculpt is. Head is on a ball joint. It looks down. It doesn't really look up at all. It will rotate all the way around. Shoulders are on swivels. They'll go all the way around, go out for... So they've got multiple joints in here. You can see that the shoulder armor actually pivots out. So they'll bend out. In fact, we're going to take this and rotate it here. Maybe that's a good reason why that is there. So he'll do the full tree pose without anything getting in the way, which is cool. Plus, he's got this butterfly joint. So rare do you see butterfly joints on figures. He's got a bicep swivel, double jointed elbow. He's got wrist swivels. He's got a waist joint. What? I love it. Legs go that far forward, go that far back. Well, I guess they'll go farther back if they don't bump into the tail. They go out for like 130% Van Damme. You got a tricep swivel. Single joint at the knee, but it's a deep bend. You get an ankle tilt for a lot of ankle tiltage, but for all of the like casual poses, he's got filler in there. Like, what? Joint filler is such a premium thing. Like, you see a figure that's got joint filler and you're like, yeah, somebody loves this figure. Somebody designed this with care. But it's so freaking good. Oh yeah, you get forward and back. You get multiple joints in the foot. It's so good. Oh, it's so good. So good. But let's talk about his transformation. So first thing we're going to do, make sure that those are flipped in. You want to take these tail fins here and bring them up, peg them together. You want to take this panel here and unfold that. Then bring this around. His head doesn't like descend like it did in the old figure. Instead, it just like, it flips around and you've got this thing that is supposed to kind of represent his recessed head. you want to take and disconnect that from there. Basically, what's going to happen here is then you're going to open up these arms, fold in the wrists, and then close them again. So open up the arm, fold in the wrist, close this again, straighten his arm, and then they fold down like that. I'm trying to remember, does that go like that? I think it does. I think he's pegging there. I'm going to deal with that once I get his legs settled. To get his legs settled, you basically want to make sure you flip out these nose cone out of his toes. And then his leg is going to, okay, you're going to open up this panel here. Basically, you're going to fold his leg all the way in, rotate it, and then bring this around. Bring that up. So that's like one guy there. There's this little tab here that's going to fit into a slot there, like that. And then we'll do the same with the other leg. I'll show it from the other side just so. Bring this around. Fold this in. Fold that in. Bring his leg all the way up. And then bring it around. And then rotate it into place. Tab everything together. You can tab these guys together. These arms, they do plug into those tabs there. And then you kind of hook these little tabs underneath the knees. And that holds everything all together. And then you make sure everything's just aligned up. And it looks fantastic. You can attach this guy in here. What you'll do for that is bring this down, and then you've got these little tabs right here. They'll go onto these slots underneath the tabs of that, and then this will close over that. So he's got his gun, it's properly pointed. But everything just kind of fits in there super nicely. God, this is so good looking. Again, a little bit of red paint here would have really made this perfect, but it looks really, really freaking good. No, no landing gear or anything like that, but it makes it for a nice flat surface here, and it sits just fine. Look how fantastic that is. I'm in love with this figure. I love it. I don't know if this is going to be my figure of the year, but it might be. It certainly might be. It's on the short list so far. But anyhow, that's it for the Cybertrron Starscream. One little issue I've got with this guy is due to his design, because everything is tabbed in place properly, his nose almost looks like it points higher than it should. I don't know. Maybe it's just a trick of the light. So freaking good. Now we just need a nice coordination set for this, huh? Yeah? Yes. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching this far. You guys are fantastic. Everybody stay awesome and be good to each other. See ya. Bye.